Urban League Guild. At this table, we have Miss Joanne Shelton, Miss Denise Pass, Miss Gail Sanders, Miss Jackie Fuquay, and I'm Shirley Fuquay Jackson. And we're just delighted to be here today.
To the celebration of 75 years of service for Urban League Guild.
I was thankful to be invited here to be able to participate in this situation. Me and my wife Jane, we were invited by Lynn Tower to be a guest here at this table, and we really appreciate that.
This is Lynn Tyler, member of the Urban League Guild for 41 years. Very excited to be here.
My name's Michelle, and this is my first time at one of these. It's my first time in this building. It's gorgeous. My friend Glenda invited me. Gail Woodson.
Hi, Glenda Newton-White. I used to model with your company.
Yvette Jones-Johnson, and I have been a member of the Urban League for over 40 years. I'm Patricia Gordon-Stovall. Glad to be here, my first time coming.
Hello.
Wait a minute. Wait,
Take a picture.
I can see you all there.
Go ahead.
She's great.
Good morning. Welcome to the Louisville Urban League Guild 75th anniversary celebration, where we honor seniors that are doing volunteer work, unsung in the community, and we're also honoring 12 track coaches, senior track coaches. We're having a good time today, and this is my cousin. She will make a comment.
Bless you. This is...
Pastor Ellen can make a comment.
Well, bless the Lord. I am so excited and thankful to God for this Louisville Urban League Guild and the president of National Action Network Louisville chapter, Kathleen Parks, for making it possible for me to be here today. I don't know what I have done to deserve this kind of recognition, but I say all glory to God, and I will accept it because I believe every good and perfect gift, it comes from God. So I'm here to enjoy this beautiful day and this great work of the Louisville Urban League Guild.
Good afternoon. It is indeed an honor and a pleasure to be here on this auspicious occasion of the annual Louisville Urban League Guild Awards Luncheon to well-deserving nominees that are here this afternoon to receive their recognition so deserving. The Louisville Urban League is a volunteer organization. I'm happy to state that my cousin, who is the president of the Louisville Urban League Guild, and the team that she represents is doing an awesome job of pulling this event together.
I'm Al Cornish. I am the treasurer of the Louisville Urban League Guild. And this event is a culmination of the 75th anniversary of the founding of the Louisville Urban League Guild. The Louisville Urban League Guild is the second oldest guild in the Urban League system. And this event is designed to recognize those 75 years of service, but in addition to that, It's our annual jazz brunch where we raise funds to provide scholarships to local high school students. So we're very, very excited about today and look forward to having a great event.
I just want to say congratulations to my parents, James and Rita Holman. They are being recognized this year for coaching over 40 plus years each. It's amazing to watch them grow and just be successful. There's a lot of folks out here in the community and across the country that share their stories all the time, and I'm just honored to be able to witness such a beautiful salute to them. So thank you, Urban League.
Welcome you as we celebrate the 75th anniversary of the Urban League, the Louisville Urban League Guild. Can you just give us a hand for that? 75 years. Many organizations do not make it that far. We got 5 more years to a century, and I will tell you, it has been a privilege to join these ladies about 5 years ago as a part of the Guild. No, I'm not just an illustrious MC, I am a lucky member of this Urban League Guild. So I'd like to thank you all for joining us, and all I can say as I look across this floor is wow. If we see those of us who were there for the first few jazz brunches, where we have come from, this is absolutely magnificent. I am your mistress of ceremony this morning. I am Keisha Dorsey, currently holding the title of Deputy Chief of Staff for Louisville Metro, and I am so proud to represent this guild this morning. We're going to get started in our program, and I'd like to introduce to you one of my sheroes, Miss Shirley Fuquay Jackson. Shirley.
Good morning. I'm Shirley Fuquay Jackson. I'm the first Vice President over programs in the Guild. On behalf of the Louisville Urban League Guild, I bring you greetings. It is my sincere pleasure to extend a warm welcome to our 7th annual Jazz Brunch. Thanks to each and every one of you for joining us today for this special occasion as we celebrate 75 years of service to the Louisville community in this spectacular Norton Healthcare Sports and Learning Center. What an amazing facility it is. The Louisville Urban League Guild's vision is to be a premier volunteer segment of the Louisville Urban League. The mission of the Louisville Urban League Guild is to unite, strengthen, and support the Louisville Urban League in its endeavors with volunteerism and community service. I am a proud 41-year member of the Guild, and I have loved every moment of my membership. I hope that you too will consider becoming a member of this beloved organization. We could really use your support as we continue this important work. Today, we will be recognizing and celebrating our unsung seniors who give of their time and talents through outstanding volunteerism. We will also be honoring 12 devoted African-American track coaches who have given their time and used their skills to coach and mentor youth throughout the years in the Louisville community. So, without further ado, please sit back and enjoy the program.
Thank you, Shirley. I'd like to bring to the stage now a man that I've known for quite a bit when I started off actually as an intern at Norton Healthcare. And he and his wife had just recently relocated here to the Louisville city. He has now showed us as an entire community what it means to truly be a leader in the midst of a storm, to continue at the helm. And we, ladies and gentlemen, if we could give this man a standing applause for leading this organization and continuing to carry out the mission of the Louisville Urban League. Would you welcome Dr., I'm gonna call him Doctor, yes, would you welcome Dr. London E. Pryor, interim president of the Louisville Urban League. Would you give him a standing applause, please? Thank you, thank you. London, you deserve it. We appreciate you standing and filling in the void and continuing the mission of this organization. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you so much, Keisha. I am not a PhD, and I had to make sure I say that because my wife is, and she would easily tell me that I have not done the work. But I do appreciate that, and thank you all for being here. Again, my name is Lyndon Pryor. I'm the interim president and CEO of the Louisville Urban League, and it is an honor and a pleasure to greet you on behalf of the league, as well as on behalf of some other important folks, one of whom I know will be here soon, Ms. Sadiqa Reynolds, who served as president for the last 7 years of the organization, and Mr. Ben Richmond, who I know wanted to be here, but unfortunately was not able to join us. Both of those individuals have a long and celebrated history with the Louisville Urban League Guild, and it is an honor and a privilege to be able to stand in this seat or from this space and to continue that. But I'm also excited because I have my own journey with the Guild, because when I started with the league 8 years ago, among the many duties that I was given by Sadiqa at the time, part of that was really liaisoning with the Guild. And so that started in working with Sheila Carson, and then on to Doug Carson, and then to Yvonne, and now with Nola. And so it has been a joy of mine to always work with the Guild. It is a group that has loved on me, that oftentimes has referred to me as one of their own children in some respects, and that has helped me to grow and mentored me and advised me and supported me. And so I know firsthand the work and the quality of work and the brilliance and the commitment to community and to people and to Black people that is existent within the Guild and the work that they do. And so this truly is a pleasure. I will also say that when we started planning this, or when the Guild started planning this, they approached me again and said, "Lyndon, will you help out?" I said, "Absolutely. It's 75 years, we're gonna do it big. We're gonna make this the biggest and the best brunch that we've had thus far. And you know, we're gonna utilize all the tools and resources of the league. We're gonna sell tickets online this year, and we're gonna do all of that." And we've done it, right? This is by far the largest Guild brunch that we have had, and this is an amazing success. The last couple of years have been back behind me in the mezzanine, but now we are on the floor because the mezzanine would not hold us. And so that is an amazing accomplishment. Absolutely, give it up. And I would love to say that the work that we did in putting tickets online was a major contributing factor to getting all of you wonderful people here, but you all know that isn't true, because I know that most of you bought your tickets with paper tickets from members of the Guild, and them going out into community and passing those things out. And so that is just a tremendous accomplishment by them, still going out and making sure that you got here to celebrate all the honorees today, as well as to be able to contribute to the scholarships that they give each and every year. The last thing I'll say before I take my seat is the Guild is, at 75 years, our Guild is the second oldest Guild in the Urban League movement. And so we have a long history of service and commitment. And it's something that honestly, I don't know that the Guild themselves even celebrate enough. The people who have led this organization and who have come out of the ranks of this organization are pillars of the Louisville community. They have done amazing and extraordinary things for this city in lots of different spaces, not just on behalf of the Guild. but in tons of other areas, whether that be working in government, for the city, nonprofit, the university sector, community organizations. You've had leaders who have led this organization as well as contributed to this organization who have truly helped to stand up and create a solid and equitable foundation for Louisville residents. And that, of course, speaks to just the quality of this organization. And so I am excited to continue partnership with our guild. I am excited for all of the things that they are going to do. And I just want to congratulate the Louisville Urban League Guild, all of the officers, all of its members on 75 wonderful, dedicated years of service to the Louisville community. And I am excited to do more with you. The Louisville Urban League staff, our development team, some of those members are here. We're excited to continue to support and work with you to bring great work and service to this community. I hope you all enjoy this event, certainly the wonderful artists that are here. Again, congratulations to all of the honorees. It is a pleasure and a privilege to be in this movement with you and to serve with you all. Thank you.
Lyndon, I don't see Kelly here, so I'm going to say thank you, Dr. Pryor. Next, I'd like to bring to the stage our current president of the Urban League Guild, who is ushering in our 75th year, Miss Nola Howell-Bullock. Nola.
Good morning, everyone. I am so glad I followed Lyndon because he said most of the things I was going to say. So that means my speech is short. But I am Nola Howell-Bullock. I'm the president of the Louisville Urban League Guild for the second time. So you know I must be dedicated. On behalf of the Guild and its members, we would just like to welcome you to our 75th anniversary celebration. We also would like to thank you for your support for this event because it not only honors our seniors who volunteered in the community, but this year we're also honoring 12 track coaches, senior track coaches. So have a good time. And like I said, this event helps us fund our scholarships for high school seniors. So I hope you have a good time. You can visit our vendors over there, and you can look at our history in the back, and you can participate in our silent auctions. So have a good time. Thank you.
Moment to highlight those that are not only committed to service as being a part of the Guild, but also those who in government, we say, put their money where their mouth is. And so, Dr. and Mrs. Charasico, we'd like to thank you for being our pledge sponsors for this event, and not only for the event, but what it brings forth in putting young people first, education first, as our goal is to raise funds in order to send children to college, youth and young people. We'd like to thank you for that, and I wanted to give you a second just to offer any words of encouragement or inspiration for others to join you in this endeavor.
First of all, I just want to say, what a wonderful, wonderful crowd is here today. It is just beautiful to see all of you out there. James and I are just honored to be a part of this event, and we feel that it is worthwhile in so many ways. It gives back to the community, and it takes all of us working together to achieve those goals. So we're just glad to be a part of this, and just thank you is what we would like to say.
If you all know Dr. Charasica, a man of few words, but lots of actions. Thank you all, Charasicas, for showing us what true leadership looks like in this community. Next, I'd like to bring to the stage our historian for the Urban League Guild, one of my personal mentors who has been there for me since day one, when I got back here from Oakwood College as a bright young HBCU graduate. And if any of you all know Miss Claudia Guerin, she accepts nothing else but the best. And she made sure that I got involved with the Guild. I didn't have a choice to join YP, Young Professionals. I was voluntold I was going to join the Guild. So Claudia, thank you for ushering me into this illustrious group of men and women who support other young people. And if you would, just give us a little bit of history about the Guild and our 75 years. And thank you for the work that you do.
Good morning, everyone. It was the year that Mahatma Gandhi was assassinated. It was the year of the Winter Olympics in St. Moritz, Switzerland. It was the year of the Summer Games that were held in London, England. It was the year stock car racing was founded. It was the year that Gentleman's Agreement won the Academy Award for Best Picture. It was the year that President Harry Truman signed the Marshall Plan, which authorized $5 billion in aid for 16 countries. It was the year of Israel's Declaration of Independence. It was the year that President Truman signed an executive order ending racial segregation in the United States Armed Forces. It was the year that Margaret Chase Smith became the first woman to serve in Congress. It was the year that President Truman defeats Thomas Dewey for a second term. The first Polaroid camera goes on sale that year. And King Charles, actor Samuel L. Jackson, Andrew Lloyd Webber, Ozzy Osbourne, James Taylor, and Olivia Newton-John, those people were born. It was also the year that the Louisville Urban League was organized. It was organized on January the 15th, 1948, and that would have been Martin Luther King's birthday. It is the second oldest guild in the United States, as Linda indicated. The first Urban League was established in 1942 in New York City by the late Mrs. Molly Moon. Before the Guild was founded, there was an annual event called the Beaux Arts Ball, which raised thousands of dollars and attracted big names such as the Kennedys and the Rockefellers here in Louisville. Mrs. Kidd, along with Charles T. Steele, the first Louisville Urban League president, and several board members, had been talking about the possibilities of starting a Louisville Guild. Mrs. Kidd, a staunch businesswoman and civic leader, was asked by Mr. Steele to contact at least 20 or more women to ask them about the possibility of organizing a Louisville Guild. A week later, that happened. Mrs. Kidd presented a proposal explaining the objectives and purposes of the Guild, and the rest is history. In its infancy, the Louisville Urban League Guild was off and running. Its first president was Mrs. Barbara Miller. The first guild sponsored their activity and called it a play that was called Murder Without Crime, and it was performed at the Memorial Auditorium. As the Guild grew and expanded its civic and cultural reach, the Guild collaborated from time to time with other groups, including the League of Women Voters and Sunday forums that were held at Zion Baptist Church. Our signature fundraising activity is our annual scholarship fund that was later called the Charles T. Steele Scholarship by the suggestion of one of our Guild presidents. And not just our Guild president, he was also our president and CEO, the late Arthur Walters. There have been a lot of activities and events sponsored by the Guild, and I'm going to name a few, not all of them, but I will name a few. In 1957, in collaboration with Bellevue College, we assisted in sponsoring the Shakespearean Scholar, and if any of you all were born at that time, I think it was in the late 50s, I remember the lady, her name was Frances DeBerry, and she won $16,000 on the show, the $64,000 question. That was the deal that had something to do with that. In 1964, the first Moonlight and Roses Derby Ball was held on the Belle of Louisville, and it was held every year on Derby night until 2010. The National Urban League Conference was also held in 1964 at the Sealback. The Louisville Urban League had its first membership drive, and the Guild assisted, and that was in 1965. In 1973, the Guild celebrated 25 years. In 1974, the Jackie Robinson Scholarship and Award Banquet was held and sponsored by the Guild and the Louisville Urban League. In 1977, the Guild hosted a fur fashion show, the first of its kind, at the Jefferson Club that had just opened. In 1982, the Voluntary Income Tax Assistance Program, which we call VITA, started, and elderly, minorities, and those who have special problems trying to understand their income tax forms were helped, and they still are. That organization or that program still exists today. In 1985, the Guild sponsored or assisted in celebrating the opening of the Louisville Galleria, and we had a big gala. In 1986, the Guild became a part of the Kentucky Derby Festival. And in 1987, Mr. Benjamin K. Richmond became the third president and chief operating officer of the Louisville Urban League. In 1991, the Guild celebrates with the League the grand opening of the new headquarters building at 15th and Broadway. And the dedication ceremony took place from February the 10th through the 14th of that year. In 1996, in commemoration of the African American History Month, the Guild started sponsored a male fashion show again. And some of the gentlemen who were in that fashion show are here this morning. In 1998, the Guild celebrated 50 years of community service. And in 2001, the Guild established the first Women's History Month observance at the University of Louisville. In 2014, the birth of the Senior Empowered in a Changing World fundraiser began, and that's why you are here this morning. Since its infancy in 1948, Guild members have left an impressive, lasting mark on its history. The late Thelma Clemens was a National Urban League board member and also served as the first woman board chairperson. 3 members have served more than 1 term as Guild presidents. Nola Howe Bullitt, 2 terms, Deirdre Shipley, 2 terms, and the late Annetta Bell, 3 terms. Within our 75-year history, the Guild has been honored with having 2 of its current members presented with the National Molly Moon Community Service Award. It's awarded annually to a Guild member who exemplifies local service to the community and the national body. The Louisville Guild received back-to-back honors several years ago. In 2017, Mrs. Sheila Carson Smith received the honor, and in 2018, Claudia Smiley Guerin received the honor. The Guild activities include the VITA program. We also are involved with the Angel Tree Project through the National Prison Fellowship Incorporated, and then the Senior Empowered in a Changing World fundraiser is our biggest fundraiser. We also partner every Thanksgiving with the University of Louisville Athletic Club, and we collect money and items to give to Thanksgiving baskets. Almost through. Guild members have also, with 75 years, that's a lot to celebrate. Guild members have also served in various other leadership capacities since its inception. Mrs. Bullitt has served as the Southern Regional Coordinator from 2002 to 2006. Mrs. Carson Smith served as the Southern Regional Coordinator from 2020 to 2022. And Mrs. Guerin and Mrs. Shipley and Ms. Shipley have served as parliamentarians for the Southern Region. The Guild is proud to have been a part of the Louisville Urban League organization for 75 years and to be workers and volunteers who are making a difference every day in the lives of others. The Guild will always be a part of the Urban League family. And finally, in closing, our mission, the Guild's mission, is to unite, strengthen, and support the Louisville Urban League and its community activities and other initiatives, which include African Americans and other minority groups, the disadvantaged, and then we are to attain social and economic equality and stability in our volunteerism for all. Again, happy birthday, happy 75th birthday to Louisville Urban League Guild. Thank you. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we certainly thank you for another day, one we've never seen before. We thank you that we all are here to celebrate 75 years of service. That is what our goal has been and it will still be, serving others. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for those who have supported this organization for 75 years and help us to continue on the right path. And now we ask that you bless the food for which we're about to receive for the nourishment of our bodies, for Christ's sake. Amen.
Good morning. Thank you so much for coming out this morning and sharing this day with us as we celebrate our 75th anniversary. We're going to get ready for brunch, and we're going to call the tables by numbers, 4, 6, 8.
Don't have nothing left. The mothership can't save you, so your ass is gonna get left. If we were made in His image, then call us by our name. Most intellects do not believe in God, but the fear is just the same. Whoa, on and on and on and on.
Tables 28, 30, 32.
On and on and on and on.
Tables 28, 30, and 32.
I go on and on and on and on.
Tables 28, 30, and 32.
On and on and on and on. Hey,
Tables 28, 30, and 32. Please join the brunch line to your left and my right. Tables 28, 30, and 32. Again, tables 28, 30, and 32. Last call for tables 28, 30, and 32.
Thank you so much. We thought that song was very appropriate as you go on and on through that line. And it's moving very expeditiously.
It's third row. Okay, yeah, you go there. Bye-bye.
Step and move your hips, put it up from side to side.
34, 36, 38. Tables 34, 36, and 38. Please join the line to your left and my right. Tables 34, 36, and 38. Tables 34, 36, and 38. Please join the line.
Y'all better give it up for Mr. Jennifer Smith. Second year at Louisville, y'all. Give it up. Mr. Jennifer Smith. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up. Once again, I want to bring out Miss Paulette Johnson. What you got to tell us, young lady?
Every day I see you, my hands were made for you. 'Cause you always give me stress-free point of view. Pick you up after school, Mr. Magic, take a token of my love, love. I see you through the smoke, I
As we get ready to start our second half, Michelle Honeycutt, Elizabeth Gables, and Al Cornish, please make your way to the front. In the meantime, I hope everyone can hear me. I'm gonna try to project the best way I can. But if you would, get your tickets. They can be red or blue. That's because we support them all. Wildcats and Cards. Get your tickets, red or blue. We're gonna do a couple door prize.
Good afternoon. My name is Michelle Honeycutt. I'm the Louisville Urban League Guild Recording Secretary. We'd like to recognize our past presidents that are here in attendance with us today. As I call your name, please stand or raise your hand, and Kathleen Runworth or Mr. Al Cornish will bring you your token of appreciation. Claudia Guerin. Nola Howell Bullitt. Deethra Shipley. Martha Pumphrey. Elizabeth Caples, who is here on the stage with me. Dr. Yvonne Austin Cornish. Sheila Carson Smith. Mr. Doug Smith. We would also like to recognize our living past presidents that were unable to be in attendance today. Patty Van Voren, Gloria Pennington, Sandra Commons. Thank you all for helping us move the milestone of 75 years of service. Thank you.
Good afternoon. There's nothing more beautiful than a life fully lived. The souls of the righteous are in the hands of God for eternity. Our deceased Louisville Urban League Guild members were those who were humble and willing to help those around them. They also impacted our lives with candid and godly advice and were a great source of inspiration and motivation. Those who touch our lives stay in our hearts forever. Let us pause for a moment of silence in honor of our beloved deceased Louisville Urban League Guild members. Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Next, I'd like to bring to the stage Dr. Rita Greer. Oh, actually, I'm skipping in the program. Mr. Al Cornish, actually, this is our time for our awards presentation. Thank you, Dr. Greer, for reminding me of that. It's time for our awards presentation. Al Cornish, would you please do us the honors? Thank you.
Thank you. Would you give our Mistress of Ceremony a round of applause? She does a great job. In addition, could you give this band another round of applause? These next presentations are of our award recipients for 2023. And we're blessed to have a total of 24 recipients to receive awards. Volunteers don't get paid, not because they're worthless, but because they're priceless. And this group of individuals that we're going to be introducing and presenting awards to, the word priceless is probably not even accurate to describe them. I'm going to give you just a brief bio of each of the individuals, because if I went into great depth of each one of these individuals, we'd be here all evening, and I know you don't want that. So with that, I'd like to start, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask the recipient to come down front to receive their award so that you can see them. And then I'd like for you to recognize them as they receive their award. Now I'm going to go a step further. If you are here with the recipient, I'm going to ask you to stand when they're introduced, because we know it takes a village, and particularly when you're doing volunteer work, you need to have the support of your family and your friends. I'm going to start with someone who I think everybody knows, is Betty Baye. Betty is a former journalist and columnist and a former member of the editorial board of the Gannett and the Louisville Courier-Journal. Her volunteer work includes her involvement with Delta Sigma Theta Louisville Alumni Chapter, where she participates in various community service projects and volunteer services. She also is a member of the Louisville chapter of Chums, where she's involved in volunteer work with the Ronald McDonald House and participated in volunteer work. Please join me in recognizing Betty Baye. Now, you all aren't following the instructions. You're supposed to stand if you're here in support of it. Please stand. Now, let's give them a round of applause. All of those that are with. Yes. Thank you all. Thank you all. Our next recipient is Danita Cotton. Ms. Cotton? We'll give her a second to get down front. That's wonderful. Please. Thank you. Ms. Cotton is a Louisville native and current member of the National Action Network Louisville chapter and serves as our hospitality chair. She retired after 30 years with local government and mid-management as an interview. Currently employed in guest customer services with the Kentucky Fair and Expo. She has civic, community, and volunteer involvement. She's received awards of recognition for her commitment of service to others, family-oriented and a Christian, likes traveling, freelance writing, creative crafts, and meeting and mentoring people. Her favorite quote, "The difference between a good day and a bad day is your attitude." Please join me in congratulating Danita Cotton. Mr. George Demery. I don't think there's probably a person in the room that doesn't know George Demery. George's volunteer work has consisted of being a board member for Big Brothers Big Sisters. He is the chief operating officer for St. Stephen's Baptist Church, which is led by Senior Pastor Dr. Kevin W. Cosby. He is also a member of Leadership Louisville Encore program, which helps nonprofit organizations create business solutions. And George is a member of the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, Psi Phi Boulay, and the EO Esquires, which includes volunteer work in the Louisville community. George is also the former board chair for the Kentucky Lottery Corporation, Eastern Kentucky Alumni Board, Ronald McDonald House, Iroquois Housing Association, the Communications Advisory Council for the Commonwealth of Kentucky, a former member of the Kentucky Information Resource Management Commission, and he's a former president of the Louisville Radio Broadcast Association. Please join me in congratulating George Demery. Our next recipient is Tempe Douglas. Includes her activities at the Friendship House, where she now lives. She attends to many older and handicapped individuals who live on her floor. She provides rides to those residents who do not have transportation to doctor's appointments, grocery stores, and pharmacies. She also provides meals for those that cannot cook and provides clothing for those residents who need clothing. Tempe truly provides volunteer community services to our community. Please join me in congratulating Ms. Tempe Douglas. Congratulations. The next person is also someone that everybody in this room knows, is Reverend James Elliott Sr. Reverend Elliott. Yes, please welcome him as he comes forward. Reverend James Elliott was born in Lawrence County, Alabama. He was the fifth of 13 children. He and his wife, Sandra, who's deceased, are parents of 6 children. See, he learned growing up that you had to have a lot of children. He has been very blessed to serve as pastor of New Jerusalem Missionary Baptist Church for the past 45 years. Yeah, he deserves a round of applause. Reverend Elliott is active in many social, educational, economic, and business organizations developed to help advance the culture of descendants of American slaves. He is the current chair of the Descendants of American Slaves Ministerial Alliance and is also vice president and treasurer of the National Action Network, Louisville, Kentucky chapter, where he volunteers much of his time. Reverend Elliott's job well done for community service, as well as your commitment to sharing the gospel and love of God to all of humanity. Please join me in congratulating Reverend Elliott. Recipient is Yolanda Lonnie Jones. Is a pearl to the Shelby County and surrounding communities. Her spirit of volunteerism exemplifies what we should strive to do daily to make life a little easier for another person. She initiated the concept and inspiration behind the first ever Shelby County Juneteenth celebration in June of 2022. She talked about the need for having an event that would bring the community together. Along with the seasoned saints of New Mount Zion Baptist Church in Shelbyville, the 3-day event was sponsored by Humana and consisted of a health, wellness, and job fair with 30 employers and 4 health care vendors. Need I mention that 10 people were hired on the spot that day. A 3-on-3 basketball tournament with cash prizes and a Juneteenth celebration at the Shelby County Park, Colonel Sanders Pavilion and Amphitheater. The weekend was embraced by the community, and the celebration concluded with a community fireworks show. Governor Andy Beshear applauded their unity event of faith, family, and freedom and presented Lonnie Jones, along with seasoned saints, a proclamation naming June 19th, Juneteenth Freedom Day in the Commonwealth. This was the first Juneteenth proclamation signed in the entire state that year. In her words, it's not about what I say, it's about what the Spirit says. I can't take credit for this because I can't think like this. I can say it, but not think like the Spirit says it to me. Please join me in congratulating Lonnie Jones.
Thank you all. Thank you all of you. Thank you so much.
Judy Lipman. Judy has volunteered for various organizations. Her volunteer work includes the League of Women Voters, Friends of the Library, NAACP, Yard Talk, Racial Justice Book Club, and voter registration. With her busy schedule, Judy also volunteers with the Kentucky Return Peace Corps Volunteer Association, Kentucky Refuge Ministries, Catholic Charities Mother Infant Program, and she also tutors at Malton Elementary School. She also enjoys working with Big Brothers Big Sisters program, Center for Neighborhood Institute, YMCA Early Learning Readiness Program, and Judy has also supplied free books for patrons at the 28th Barbershop and Laundromat. Last but not least, she volunteers with the Louisville Urban League's Youth Development and Education Department. Wow. Truly, Ms. Lipman has contributed volunteer service to the Louisville community. Please join me in congratulating her. next recipient is Marjorie Marshall. Marjorie Marshall has always possessed a passion for volunteering. She has contributed and engaged herself with local organizations throughout the city. At the Kentucky Center for African American Heritage, she volunteers as a visitor experience coordinator, events coordinator, as well as assistant to the executive director. She's one of the first faces you see when you enter the KCAAH. As a local producer, playwright, and performer, Marjorie has promoted many platforms for artistic development of local performers and artists. Her greatest accomplishment to date is in the production of Songbird of the South, the real Marianne Fisher story of the legendary Ray Charles fame. Marjorie was also responsible for the production of a play entitled The Rebirth of Civilization. Other volunteerism includes the Shawnee Boys and Girls Club, Louisville Association of Music Performers, Food for the Elderly Consortium, California Community Center, Shawnee Boys and Girls Club, and the Smoketown Reunion. At Ebenezer Missionary Baptist Church, where she's a member, she also serves as choir director, chair of the Black History Committee, vacation Bible instructor, as well as many other roles. She's also a vocalist who's been called upon to sing for numerous churches, civic, and social events throughout Louisville. Please join me in congratulating Marjorie Marshall. Pause for a second and just say, don't you get kind of exhausted hearing what some of these folks are doing? Some people say no. Some people say no. You can understand the reason why they're being recognized today. They're really unsung heroes in this community because we do not recognize those people that volunteer as they have, because they are the ones that really make this community go. Our next recipient is Sharita Martin, serving her community in a variety of capacities over the last 12 years within her church community and on her own endeavors. She's selfless, hardworking, and deeply compassionate about helping others. She started off her community giving by lending her exceptional culinary skills by cooking meals for those in need through her church at the time, Shiloh Baptist Church. She's been an active supporter and advocate for the Center for Women and Families for over a decade. Most recently, over the last 4 years, she spearheaded a partnership with Beside You for Life at her church, Burnett Avenue Baptist Church. Beside You is a nonprofit organization that exists to support women and families experiencing an unplanned pregnancy. Over the last 4 years, she's organized a drive to collect baby bottles from others. She also works with Inside Outreach in a variety of roles to help the culinary staff on the 3rd and 4th Wednesdays of each month. She also provides meals to Louisville Outreach for the Unsheltered. Through Inside Outreach, Sharita leads a team of volunteers that every other month provide assistance to those in need. Sharita has helped her community through giving volunteerism and outreach. Please join me in congratulating Ms. Sharita Martin. Our next recipient is Valerie Collins Moore. Valerie is a long-standing and highly motivated local volunteer in many community organizations in the Louisville area. Valerie is a highly respected and trusted leader in the local community. Some of the community organizations that she volunteers with is the Pi Lambda Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated and Bates Memorial Baptist Church. Valerie volunteers in many capacities at Route 101 African American Museum. Valerie has tenacious drive and selfless commitment to her community A job well done, Valerie. Please join me in congratulating Valerie Collins Moore. And I hope you've all been to Roots 101, because I saw him here earlier. Is Lamont here? He had to go back to work, but Lamont Collins was here. That's her brother at Roots 101. So please make sure you visit Roots 101. Our next recipient is Cheryl Tinker. Cheryl's volunteer work includes being a member of the Louisville chapter of CHUMS for 14 years. This is a service organization that involves several volunteer community work projects. She volunteers at the Ronald McDonald House, which involves children receiving medical care as well as their parents. Cheryl has initiated teams to acquire food and provide food for families staying at the Ronald McDonald House. Please join me in congratulating Cheryl Tinker on her volunteer service to Louisville community. And this is our final award recipient in the volunteer category, and it's Miss Adele Woods. It's Adele Woods. Adele is an exceptional volunteer in our community. Her volunteer work includes assisting at the Red Cross and providing care for people in crisis situations. She volunteers at the Home of the Innocents, where she reads books to children. She enjoys serving as Boy Scouts den mother, providing leadership for groups of scouts. She's a volunteer vocalist in several community choirs. She volunteered as teacher assistant at the YMCA Chestnut Street branch. She's also organized a wellness program at the West End Baptist Church and served as their musical director. She served as a board member for MEET, More Education and Enrichment Training, which is an organization focused on knowledge and technology for the community. Please join me in congratulating Adele Woods. Now would you give a rousing round of applause for all of our award recipients. Thank you.
As Dr. Greer comes to us, I'm going to pull a few more door prizes.
I have the distinct pleasure of sharing with you the stories of a group of track coaches in the Louisville, Jefferson County area. We are in this spectacular sports arena, and this is a track. We are sitting on a track. We don't have anything like this in Kentucky, and Indiana, and Ohio, and many places. So as we celebrated our 75th anniversary, we thought it was important and appropriate that we think about track and those individuals, those coaches that have been coaching track here in our community for years. We thought 60 years old, 30 years of experience, and good at what they do. With that in mind, we have what we call a dozen, and we said the devoted dozen. I interviewed each of these individuals to get their story, and I was amazed at what they had done in our community, working with our children and working with track. So I'm going to do mine a little differently. because my stories, I'm going to give you some of the highlights of these individuals as they come forward and receive their recognition. It was difficult to cut these stories down and to just give you some highlights of what these individuals have done. There are 10 males excuse me, and 2 females. As I call them, I'm not calling them in any particular order, not by age, but I'm going to call them and tell you a little bit about them as to why they are so important as being a member of the Devoted Dozen. Our first recipient is Coach Christopher Goodwin. Coach Chris Goodwin, usually called Coach because he and his brother Don were coaching at the same schools at the same time, had an interest in track most of his life. Coach graduated from Thomas Jefferson High School and attended Eastern Kentucky University on a track scholarship. Coach Chris says that the triple jump and the long jump remain his areas of expertise. Coach's career in Jefferson County began in 1986 at Shawnee High School as a helper to Coach Ed Newton, coaching boys and girls. In 1988, he was hired as a full-time itinerant PE teacher and began his professional career in Jefferson County Public Schools. His coaching duties began in 1990 at Ballard High School and lasted until 2017, when he retired as a teacher. After retirement, he continued coaching at Central as an assistant coach, working with his mentor, Coach Newton, again with boys track. One of Coach's most cherished memories about his coaching career is being able to coach his children when they were on the team at Ballard and he was track coach. He also says that track helps the light to go off in students' minds and helps them see their chances in life differently. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Christopher Goodwin. Our next recipient is Coach Clint Lovely. Clint never would tell me his age. Clint Lovely, a native Louisvillian who also attended Central High School and Kentucky State College, has been coaching over 50 years, including football and track. His coaching career began as a high school football coach in 1969 at Central. He was assigned as track coach at Central in 1980. He was surprised because he didn't know a great deal about track. He says that he doesn't remember how or when he fell in love with coaching track. It just happened. In addition to Central High School, Coach Lovely has coached track at 6 other high schools in Jefferson County: Iroquois, Ballard, Valley, Shawnee, Western, and Fairdale, where this is his current assignment. He retired in 1996, but Coach Lovely says, if it weren't for track, I would probably be just another old man. Being around youth and knowing that you are trying to make a difference in their lives keeps me going, even though it is not like the early days. You know that the Lord puts you where He wants you to be. He put me where I needed to be. Coach Clint Lovely.
Coach.
Our next recipient is a pair, Coaches Rita and James Holman. Coaches Rita and James Holman have been a team in several different ways. Married in 1971, 3 months after their graduation from Morehead State University, both with majors in health and physical education, the couple moved to Louisville to begin their professional careers as teachers in the public schools. When Rita and James moved to Louisville in '71, they began their coaching careers together. Coach Rita was hired at Butler High School as the physical education teacher and asked by the principal to coach track. In the spring of 1972, she assumed her first job as head coach for girls track. Coach James, who was teaching PE at Klondike Elementary School, came on board to assist his wife. Later, Coach James became basketball and track coach at Eastern High School. Coach Rita coached at Butler until she became a counselor at Doss. After retirement, she reunited with Coach James in 2003 as coaches at Male High School, where they continue coaching track together today. In addition, they are proud of their career accomplishments and recognitions. Coach Rita was Louisville Jefferson County Coach of the Year for track and cross country in 1975-76. She was inducted into the Sudie Butler Hall of Fame in 2003 and the Kentucky Track Cross Country Association, Coaches Association Hall of Fame in 2010. Coach James was National Coach of the Year in 1998. He was also inducted into the KTCCA Hall of Fame in 2005, followed by the Dow Hare Kentucky Athletic Director Coaches Hall of Fame in 2006. Coach Rita and Coach James were also adopted as Male High School alumni in 2018 for their years of service at that school. Ladies and gentlemen, Coaches Rita and James Holden. Our next recipient is Coach Mike McCoy. Coach McCoy attended Western Kentucky University on a football scholarship, and he also ran track. He was selected to the Kodak All-American Football Team his senior year. He is also a member of WKU Hall of Fame for football and track. He completed student teaching in 1974 before reporting to the Houston Oilers training camp. Currently, the Houston Oilers are what we call them, the Tennessee Titans, I think. He was drafted 187th out of 448 players selected. His professional career in football was short, but his career as a teacher and coach spanned 4 decades with his coaching sprints, hurdlers, and relays at Eastern while a full-time teacher. His coaching continued after his retirement in 2018. Over the years, Coach McCoy has also coached track at Fort Knox and Male High Schools in addition to Eastern High School, his current assignment. He says, success is important for kids. Watching families see their kids' accomplishments is so rewarding. Kids who thought they could only walk, now running. Who thought they could only run, now sprinting. Who thought they were heavy and overweight, now showing muscles. They are standing there with snot running out of their noses, teary-eyed and breathing hard, but they did it. They finished. They had their personal best. They may not have set a record, but they now understand why I do what I do. Coach Mike McCoy.
Thank you.
Coach Don Goodwin. When it came to track, I was a late bloomer. Coach Donald Dino Goodwin emphasizes as he recalls his life experiences with the sport. Coach Dino graduated from Thomas Jefferson High School in 1973 after spending only his senior year there. Upon graduation, he worked at General Electric and attended the University of Louisville as part of GE's apprentice program. Bitten by the coaching bug, after volunteering and helping Coach Fetter at Ballard High School, Coach Goodwin began his official coaching duties in 1990 at Moore High School as an assistant. When Coach Goodwin's journey began, he had no idea where the paths would lead to the accomplishments that he would share with his athletes that he coached at Shawnee, Atherton, Moore, and Ballard High Schools, as well as with track clubs, West Side, Runners for Christ, Soaring Eagles, and the Louisville Track Club. From 1995 to 2007, with Ballard High School girls track, Coach Goodwin supported 39 first and second team all-state athletes. He acquired 30 individual state championships, 3 Kentucky High School Athletic Association state team titles, 4 KHSA state team runner-up titles, and 7 Mason-Dixon indoor state titles. In addition, Coach Goodwin's Ballard High School track teams set 3 state records, received 3 Gatorade AOY awards, set 8 school records, and included 4 Nike High School All-Americans. Coach Goodwin was elected to the KTCCA Hall of Fame in 2008. He assumed head coaching duties for the boys team at Ballard from 2010 to 2017, where he now continues to assist. Wow. Coach Don Goodwin. And he has a whole bunch of rings that he flops around on his fingers too. Coach William Jelly Green. A native Louisvillian, Coach William Jelly Green helped Male win its first 3A state track championship, where he competed in the triple jump, the long jump, and the 880 relay when he was a student. His college career began at Western Kentucky University, where he attended on a football scholarship, but also ran track, becoming a 100-yard dash holder at WKU for several years with a time of 9.5 seconds. He was drafted by the Cleveland Browns football team, but later returned to WKU to complete his master's degree when his professional football career was short-lived. His brother steered him toward teaching and coaching. His coaching career in JCPS has allowed him to serve at Manual High School, Shawnee, Seneca, Male, and the Brown School, where he now coaches both the middle and high school. Coach Jelly has earned several recognitions, including becoming a member of the Male High School Hall of Fame, the Athletic Directors Hall of Fame, the Jefferson County Coaches Hall of Fame, the Seneca High School Hall of Fame. He is adamant about the importance of maintaining his own health and strength, working out 5 days a week in his old age. He says that coaching track helps keep him active and feeds his love for the sport. He also says he would never been able to continue with coaching without his wife's support. Coach Jelly. Coach Sherry Beaumont. Coach Beaumont ran track in 7th grade at Eastern High School. becoming a member of 4 state track title teams between 1968 and 1973. Eastern High School back in 1968. However, her first encounter with track actually began at age 11 when the late coach Willie Lewis picked her interest in the sport. She ran in the Junior Olympics in St. Louis, Washington, D.C., and New York, her events being the events less than 400 yards or less. She ran those events also at Eastern Kentucky University. Upon returning to Louisville after graduation from EKU, Coach Beaumont, who always wanted to be a track coach, worked as a substitute teacher and assisted, again, Coach Ed Newton at Ballard High School. Later moving to Male High School, where she coached until 1988 before taking some years off. She resumed her coaching career at Male High School in 1998 and continues coaching track at Male today, although she retired from teaching in 2012. She is on the coaching team with coaches Rita and James Holman, a United States Athletic Track and Field track official and a member of the National Federation of High School Track Rules Committee. Coach Beaumont has endured double hip replacements, but she keeps coaching even when she was on her walker. I plan to be around a while because I love what I do with my athletes. Seeing your athletes succeed because they have worked so hard and socializing with the oldie coaches continues making track coaching fun. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Cherie Beaumont. She doesn't look like she's had 2 hip replacements. Doesn't look as straight. Doesn't look like that at all. Coach Gary Morton. Coach Gary Martin was a 3-sport athlete at Central High School, playing basketball, football, and running track, where his athletic ability earned him a track scholarship to Kentucky State University. Coach Morton competed against some of the best in the world, becoming a 100-meter semifinalist, participating at the national championship before he left KSU. Later, he worked full-time and began training high school and college athletes, with his coaching career beginning as a sprint coach with the late Coach Bill White at Dawes High School. Later, he developed the Thoroughbred Track Club in 1989 with 2 other partners. Coach Morton is proud of his athlete success at Male High School, Central High School, and the Academy at Shawnee, where he currently coaches middle and high school boys and girls track and field. Under his guidance, Shawnee has 4 indoor championships, 9 regional championships, and 8 first-team All-State athletes. I want my students to be ranked with the best, regardless of how the school is ranked, he contends. He is also adamant about the coach's role in supporting his athletes at home and at school. Sometimes I am a parent and have to discipline my students. I've had to take athletes to the AAU National Championships and on college tours when their parents were not able to. I have been blessed. Most of my students went to college and graduated when I didn't. That keeps me going. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Gary. Coach Otis Ralston. Also a Central High School graduate and track star who attended K-State, Coach Otis Ralston had a unique experience in his journey to becoming a coach. Coach Ralston ran track for the United States Marine Corps, where he competed against track teams from all branches of the military. In addition, Coach Ralston has been active in track clubs throughout the city. He worked with the Derby City Track Club and helped organize the Thoroughbred Track Club and the Runners for Christ Track Club. He also became more engaged in coaching, assisting track athletes at Atherton High School, Presentation Academy, Doss High School, Iroquois High School, and Central High School. Coach Ralston found his home at Manual High School, where he coached for an additional 17 years before moving to his current coaching position at Valley High School. He says, when you see the difference that you make in the lives of your athletes, you know every minute of your time is worth it. Coach McPherson told me years ago to come back and help, and that is what I have tried to do. Coach Otis Ralston.
Coach O. Baby boy.
Almost there. Coach Edward Newton.
Uh-oh, the man.
And I've said his name several times because he's been the reason, and he's been the helpmeet and the mentor for many of these coaches. Coach Ed Newton, a native of Miami, Florida, and a graduate of K-State, began his dance with track and field when he was transferred to Mill High School as an occupation work experience teacher in 1971. Asked to assist with coaching girls track, something totally contrary to his training and expertise, which was marching band. Learning from the best is what Coach Newton said. Coach Newton held positions at Mill High School from 1971 to 79, Ballard High School 79 to 86. He then became a school counselor and coached at Shawnee from 86 to 89. He retired in 1997, then waited until 2006 to return to coaching with the West Side Track Club, and also resumed coaching duties at Central in 2006 until the present. That was he's 17 years at Central today. Woo. Coaching is fun. It is more than just practicing and winning. Seeing a kid who has never run before in 9th grade become a serious state contender by the time they're in 12th grade is rewarding for me and for my kids. I help kids help themselves regardless of where they are when they came to me. Coaches don't make kids. That's what parents do. But each kid brings something to the table, and I embellish what they bring. Coach Ed. And our last but not least, Coach James Greer. Raised in Nashville, Tennessee, Coach James Greer began running track in the 6th grade at Meigs Junior High School, but did not take track seriously until he was at Duval Junior High School under Coach Willie Lewis. During his 3 high school years at Central, Coach Greer was co-holder of the CHS school record for the 100-yard dash in 9.8 seconds. He also held the 220-yard dash school record, 22.0, and the 440-yard dash, 50.6. In addition, he anchored the 880 relay and set a record time. His coaching career began in the 1980s when he began training groups of girls who were his daughter's middle school friends for summer track competition. In 1984, He began official coaching with Coach Newton at Ballard High School. For the past 4 decades, in addition to Ballard, Coach Greer has coached at Shawnee, Central, Western, Wagner, and back to the academy at Shawnee where he now coaches. He has primarily worked with sprinters and the relays, his specialty, but he also works with jumpers and hurdles. My coaches taught me what I tried to teach my athletes: patience, practice, persistence, and belief in yourself. If they can do it, you can too. I always told them, 0 from 0 is what? It means if you start with nothing and you put nothing into it, you will get nothing out of it. Remember the old song that says, nothing from nothing leaves nothing. Coach James Greer. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been my honor to work and to interview this devoted dozen because of where we are, because of where we were going to be, this particular facility. We have had the experience of knowing 12 coaches, 400 years of experience among this group. Thank you.
First, like everyone else, thank you all for joining us this afternoon. And I will announce the silent auction winners. Thank everyone who took the opportunity to bid on the items. The items will be out front at the registration table for you to collect. I want to thank 2 of our long-term donors, E&S Gallery and Brown Foreman, who support us and donate every year. So the winner of the Olympic Experience picture is Wanda Mitchell-Smith. The silent auction autograph. Okay, I will talk a little louder. The winner for the Olympic Experience picture is Wanda Mitchell-Smith. The autographed football, Greg Stevens. The Roots 101 original basket from Zimbabwe, along with some beverages from Brown Foreman, Joanne Clamp, last 44449. The Derby City Gaming and Woodford Reserve, Eugene Johnson. The Rooftop Grill, Nikki H., along with the 2 tickets to Martha Redbone Roots Project. Looks like Mr. Goodwin, last 44268, the Bourbon Gift Basket. The Teeth Whitening Kit Basket, Ebony Page. He also won the bottle, a gift bottle from Brown Foreman, along with 2 other bottles from Brown Foreman. Every dollar that we collect at the silent auction is given to our scholarship winners. So thank you all for supporting us.
Good afternoon, everyone. I would just like to make a few acknowledgments before we break. First of all, I'd like to thank my program chair, Shirley Fuquay Jackson. She's right down there. Shirley, just wave your hand. She really did some good work in helping us put this together. Could the program committee people stand that are members, or just wave your hand. All people that worked on the program, give these people a hand. Okay, and then last of all, our guild members that are present. Just give them a hand. Because everyone has really worked hard. And I think I think she's gone, but we had one of our former CEOs, Sadiq was. I think she left, didn't she?
She might be still back.
Okay. I was just gonna tell her to wave her hand. We appreciate her support. So all in all, we thank you all. Thank you for supporting us. And good evening. Hope you had a good time. Thank you.